Righty, so, the last couple times I've been practicing because I've been looking at my low back. I've started in child's pose. So if that feels good for you, if that kind of resonates with you, go ahead and start in child's pose. And sometimes when I'm thinking about my low back, I put more weight forward on my knees and hands first. And then I kind of reach the sits bone or the sits bones towards the heels. So kind of try that. So bring those knees apart. Kind of shift the weight forward as if you were in a puppy pose, like on the palms in the knees, and then drop those sits bones down. So feel that. And we've been kind of tapping into this earth energy as we move through the elements. So today we're just going to focus on our roots. So imagine those palms rooting down, the knees, the tops of the feet, just rooting down. We're also going to do a little movement to keep us warm because the earth element is actually cold. Like if you dig into the earth, the soil is cold. So it's grounding, but we're going to also bring in some warming qualities today. And as you root down, just imagine that all of your needs are met. All of your needs are satisfied. As you exhale, soften into that. All of your needs are met. I was talking with a friend yesterday, and we were talking about organisms and the human body and how the human body and living organisms are able to repair themselves. And he mentioned that plants, they communicate through their root systems. If they're in distress, they can send signals through their roots, and the other plants can send them nutrients. So imagine as you're rooting down that you're sending your message, sending your cry, your supplications into the earth. And the earth is meeting those needs through those roots. Allow those needs to be met, and maybe say to yourself, all my needs are met. Whether it's emotional, whether it's a thought pattern, whether it's physical needs, financial needs, allow your needs to be fed and met. And feel that breath. Let's breathe in together. And then we'll exhale to come up out of this child's pose. We're going to lengthen through the hip flexors. So ground the left knee. Just send the right foot back, the top of the foot to the ground. The palms and hands are underneath the shoulders. And just press the top of that right foot to the ground. And then we'll bend that right knee and just point that toe to the sky, kind of lengthening through that right hip flexors. Yep, you got it. And then bring that knee to the ground. We'll inhale, send that left foot back, press the top of that left foot to the ground. As you press that top of the left foot, you might feel that rebound in the left hip flexor, right? Breathe in and out. And as inhale to point the left toe to the sky, drop the hips, open up across those hip flexors now here in this little donkey shape we did the other day as well. And let's bring that left knee to meet the right. Let's bring our knees just a little bit wider than our hips. And then we'll sit back on the sits bones. And then we'll rise up, bring the palms in front of the chest. We're going to drop those hips down, kind of like a king cobra pose. The toes might be together behind you. And then we'll drop back to our child's pose. The sits bones hit the heels maybe. Big toes are together. Inhale, rise up, drop those hips, lift the heart. Roll the shoulders back maybe. Maybe you give a couple ear to shoulders, side to side, and then we'll rock back to the child's pose. Yes, good. And now bring the heart up again. And this time we will come into King Cobra. So maybe bring those heels towards the glutes, Drop the elbows of the heart. And whatever your relationship is with this shape, let it be fresh and new right now. Feel the empowerment and the strength, the opening of the chest, the grounding of the body. And now let's slowly kind of rock those hips back, bring the tops of the feet to the ground. Now curl the toes under, let's find a plank pose just for a breath, lengthening through the body. Breathe in. And now exhale, lower those knees one at a time. And we're going to sit back on our heels. Grounding the sits bones, grounding the shins, the tops of the feet. And now if you want, you can grab your blocks. Or maybe just use your hands, but let's walk the hands behind us and kind of feel it opening in the front of the quads, the front of the legs, those quads. Sometimes it's nice to have blocks. Sometimes you want to just come back on the palms a little. And then maybe after a few breaths, you check in and you walk those hands back a little more. If you have blocks, you might want to come onto the forearms on the blocks. But we're just going to softly, gently, gradually allow ourselves to open. And maybe we reach our threshold, wherever that is. We're not judging, we're just allowing ourselves to create a little bit of our space here. Giving ourselves time and opportunity for expansion. Maybe the breath is soft and steady, like a 4-count inhale and 4-count exhale. And you can slowly lower just a little more if that feels good, if you have more room to go. This is a really deep stretch, so don't rush it. Sometimes I'll tuck my fingers underneath my mat and kind of hold my mat with my hands. You can drop the head back if you want, or tuck the chin to the chest, whatever is more comfortable on the neck and upper back. Let the belly soften with the breath. Now let's slowly kind of come onto the forearms of the palms, and we'll pause. We're going to rewind and come up the same way that we came down. And gradually bring the shoulders over the hips. And then bring the palms on top of that, the thighs. Let out a breath. Maybe soften the gaze and feel those roots rooting down to the earth, signaling to the earth, to all other rooted beings, your needs. And as a collective, feel each other, feel our root systems communicating and sending exactly what we need to each other. Feeling that connection to each other. Now we'll exhale, come up to table. We're going to move through some earth salutations. Find the tabletop. Breathe in. And exhale, curl the toes under. Find a downward facing dog. Give yourself the time here, as if it were the first downward facing dog you've ever done. And notice the nuances in this shape. Maybe the heels reach the ground. Let's breathe in. Let's exhale to lower back down to the knees, finding our tabletop. Breathe in. And then exhale, come into our high kneel with the hips over the knees, bring the arms up overhead. Let's clasp our hands together, and then we'll exhale to a side bend towards the right. Yeah, nice. And then the other way, going to the middle. Good, back up to center. Let's sweep the hands out like a T. Send the left leg out and the arms come right back up overhead. And we'll walk our arms out in front of us for a puppy variation. Palms, ground and reach. Breathe in. And exhale, walk the hands back towards the knee. Bring the arms up overhead. Yep. And then exhale, bring the left hand towards that left extended leg, the right arm overhead. head. Opening up the right side body. We'll inhale, bring the arms back, overhead, over center. Exhale, folding forward. Once again, walk the hands out. When you get that chest to the ground, pause. And then maybe bring the right hand kind of under the shoulder. Reach the left arm up to sky. And kind of twist towards the left, opening the hips just a little bit towards the left long leg. And then let's thread the needle, sending that left arm underneath the chest. You can bring it, the forehead to the ground, where the forehead can hover. And we'll breathe into the upper back, the inner thigh, and just anywhere in our being, feeling the connectedness to the earth below us. Breathe in. Let's exhale to bring the left arm under the shoulder. Bring the right arm under the shoulder. Now draw that left knee in. Let's sit back on our sits bones. Bring the hands on top of the thigh. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Maybe close the eyes. Bring the gaze to the tip of the nose. That's going to draw our awareness to the earth element of the root chakra. A few rounds of breath, focusing on the tip of the nose. And as you're ready, inhale up, rising into your half kneel. Yes, good. And we're going to do our side bends again. So over to the right. Exhale through the middle, over to the left. Then up to the middle. Good. Bring the arms out like a T. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And send that right leg out to the side, grounding the foot. Inhale, arms overhead. Let's walk it forward. Our variation of our puppy, nice and slow, rooting down the palms. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, walk the hands towards the middle. Inhale to rise up with the arms out like a T, and then drop that right hand to root on the right leg and bring the left arm overhead. Side bend. And here, sometimes we tend to collapse forward. So see if you can open up that chest and keep kind of that shoulder a little over the hip. And don't force it if that back is tight. And then we'll bring our arms back out like a T and then up again. Yes. Exhale to walk it forward. Bring the shoulders right over those wrists. And then we'll pause with that left hand under the shoulder. Bring the right arm up to the sky. Really open up the hip. Open up the chest. And then we'll bring that right arm underneath the heart. You can walk that left arm as far forward as you want. Threading the needle and feeling our energy in opposite directions. But all of these different limbs in different areas grounding into the earth. Imagine everything being taken care of as we allow the earth to cradle us here. And drop into some trust, maybe rooting down into trust. Breathe in. Let's exhale to bring the right hand underneath the shoulder, the left hand under the shoulder. So the hands are kind of in table. Now bring that right knee in. And from here, let's just bring the hips to one side and the other, like a little windshield wiper. Breathing in as we sway those hips side to side. And then we'll bring those hips back to the middle. Let's sit the sits bones back on top of the heels. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Grounding our energy, bringing awareness to the tip of the nose. Breathe in. And on your next exhale, ground the hands. Just curl the toes under outside your downward facing dog. And see how this shape can be grounding. Notice if there's any grounding qualities here as we send our awareness to the earth element. You know, we've said before that where our awareness goes, that's where our experience will be. So as we bring our awareness to earth element, that's going to be our experience, perhaps. So see if you can experience those qualities of earth, the grounding, the support, the stability. Breathe in and out. See if you can soften the tops of the shoulders and notice how the chest kind of melts forward. Breathe in, breathe out. Now let's inhale to step the right foot forward. Then the left foot comes to meet it. Pause here in your forward fold, breathing out. And then inhale to bend the knees as much as you want to rise up to standing, meeting in Tadasana. And feel those feet grounded. Feel the heart and shoulders lifted. Really nice job. Breathe in. Now from here, let's come onto the toe of that big toe. Breathe in, and then we'll exhale to open that hip out to the side, that knee to the side. And let's bring it back to the front. And this time we're going to just step that foot forward, the heel kind of to the ground or hovering. Flex the top of that leg, and then bend that knee, toe to the earth, and then open it out to the side, the hip opening. And then we'll pause. Imagine you're pressing your hand onto that thigh. You get a little resistance on the back of the leg. And now let's bring the knee back to the front and then straighten that leg. Press the heel to the earth, or it hovers, but flex the foot towards the face. And now exhale to bend that knee, bring that toe to the floor, and we'll open back up to the side. And maybe now you slide that foot up the calf. You might bring that foot on the inner thigh, finding your tree pose. Let's give ourselves 10 breaths here. Feel that left foot rooted down. Maybe you experiment with bringing those toes off the floor. Feeling that triangle pad of your foot grounding your entire being. If you want, you can grow some branches. Maybe you keep yourself centered with the palms and Anjali Mudra at your heart space. Really nice job. Feel your needs met. Feel your resources supporting everyone around you. This beautiful network of beings that we are, relying on one another more than we can even begin to realize. On your next exhale, slowly slide that leg down with control along the inside of the leg, and then bring the knee to the front. Exhale, let the breath go and find your mountain pose. Again, another really earthly structure, the mountain. Let's exhale to drop that right foot into the ground, and then we'll bend that left knee, the left toe to the floor. Open out to the side. Maybe you feel the glutes engage as you open the hip out to the side. Maybe you soften those glutes and feel that right foot grounding. Now bring the knee to the front and then flex that foot towards the face, the heel to the ground now. The front of the leg, that quad active. Exhale, bring the toe to the floor beside the right ankle and then open that knee out to the side. Tuck that pelvis, feel the core engaged and nice and tight. Exhale, knee to the front. Breathe in. Then exhale, flex the foot as you bring that heel towards the earth or to the earth. Nice, strong core. Let's do that one more time. Toe to the floor beside the foot. Open up to the side. And last time, bring the knee forward. Heel to the earth. And now bring that foot back to meet the right ankle. Open up to the side. And then here's where you ground that right foot nice and strong and steady. And then you bring the left foot to the calf. Trying to tuck that pelvis. We're not going to allow that pelvis to be lazy. Tuck it under. That foot grounding. And then bring it anywhere on that leg. If you have it next to the knee, just don't press the knee and the leg into each other. If you have the foot on the calf or on the thigh, press the foot into the thigh and the thigh into the foot. Maybe notice where that rebound is. Maybe you lift the toes of the right foot and then relax them. We'll give ourselves our 10 rounds of breath. Anywhere your branches want to go, allow them to be. You want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. Know that that might make the balance a little trickier, and that's okay. Three more breaths. And one more breath. Your exhale is going to bring that left foot with control sliding down towards the earth. This is where you really feel that right glute active. When it gets to the earth, with control, bring the knee forward, ground that foot, shake it out, ground down, and inhale to rise, ascending towards the heavens. Then we'll exhale the right hand towards the right, coming into our side bend. And then up and through the middle over to the left. Up again towards the middle. Let's exhale to fold it forward, Uttanasana. Oh, breathing in and out. Maybe feel that back of the low back lengthen. Now let's exhale back to a downward facing dog. Noticing the nuances here again. Breathe in. Exhale. We'll exhale to lower down the knees. Bring those hands underneath the shoulders once more. On an inhale, let's drop the belly, lift the heart, moving into our cow. Exhale, tucking that pelvis, moving with mindfulness to cat pose. Inhale to cow. And then once more, exhale to your cat. Now slowly making your way down to your back. Have a block handy when you get there. Just slowly becoming one with the earth. And then with that block handy, let's come into a supported bridge. Give yourself some time to kind of ground the upper back. Maybe you give yourself a hug and rock side to side and feel that upper back, mid back, spine, kind of massage on the floor. And then as you're running with your feet, maybe hip distance or a little narrower, let's press those feet down, slide that block underneath the sacrum, and just rest that sacrum on the block. And allow this block to be a symbol of the support that you have in your life, just as this block is supporting us now. Taking the burden and the weight off of that center of gravity, which is our hips right now. Maybe soften the gaze, closing the eyes as we prepare the body for our final resting pose. Notice if you're activating the legs, allow the legs to soften. Whenever you're ready, maybe it's your next exhale. You can press the feet into the ground, lift those hips, move that block, or maybe you want to stay in your supported bridge a while longer. A nice counter pose after our supported bridge is your Appanasana, bringing knees to the chest, nose towards the knees like a little ball. Or anything that you feel might really top off your practice before allowing yourself to drop into your shavasana. And when you do come into shavasana, maybe you cover up with your blanket. Allowing yourself to warm up just a little bit after or as we cool. Allowing the breath to come and go naturally. There's no rush to become settled. There's no goal here. As you're ready, gently make your way to however you would like to close class, whether it's the hand on the heart and the stomach, a seated position. Just make your way there with awareness, mindfulness, and stability. Let's inhale together. Exhale. Draw the breath in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Namaste.